Hello, Professor Olbert. My name is Mike Riggins. I'm in the Deviant Behavior class, and this is a video on Chapter 6 about family abuse. And interestingly enough, it's not necessarily attributed to being only to the lower class people, but it can be found in all classes of people. And stress is one of the biggest factors for it. One thing I found interesting was the fact that there are more marital rapes than either stranger or acquaintance rapes, which personally I find that nearly impossible, but the text states that. And the other thing next, in speaking of child abuse and the awful thing that is, children are normally abused, at least sexually abused, by their stepfather or their father. And again, stress seems to be one of the attributing factors to that, and also people who are more isolated. And also, in speaking of elder abuse, again, stress is a contributing factor to that, and also financial problems. And again, if I remember right, I think men have more of a tendency, but women also find themselves in those stressful situations. And I understand. My wife and I cared for my father, and also just recently, until my wife's mother passed, we were caring for her. And anyone that has elderly parents realizes that it's no easy task. And when you become the parent to your parent, and they are as your children, that's a very, very tough transition. And I remember going through that with my dad, and it was very difficult. Some of the other things, another statistic was that that violence in the family is a hugely proportional statistic, apparently second only to police violence and military violence, which I didn't really understand, knowing that the nature of being a police officer or someone in the military, their jobs are to be violent. Their jobs are violent, but that violence is used to protect us. I can't really see many instances in a family where someone would be in protection mode concerning family violence. I didn't really understand that. The other thing was female genital mutilation, and I've seen several documentaries on this, and again think it's just a horrible thing that's done, I believe, mostly in Africa and some cultures there. And one of the things that the text indicated was that this practice was similar to some of the plastic surgery that we experience in America. And I had just thought that when they do plastic surgery in America, they don't cut off people's noses or ears or even their breast area or wherever. These surgeries are done to cause someone to look better. I realize the text states that that's why one of the reasons why the genitals are mutilated, but I just don't see in that culture, the traumatic experience that these young girls experience is in no way related to grown women or men, as a rule, that go in America and have plastic surgery done. The consequences are, I'm sure, normally positive here in America, where according to some of these documentaries I've seen, the consequences aren't so positive. But anyway, one of the other reasons was for abuse, especially in wife beating and raping, was the I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to say the word now. I'm sorry. Anyway, in other words, the man as being the overlord, so to speak, of his house, or I suppose even women in general. This is also a contributing factor, the text states, that why women are so abused. This chapter was interesting, and especially, I think, as I indicated on one of my discussions, that it's brought awareness to my life of my mom is now the next parent who is in the senior citizen time of her life, and it's brought me more awareness because as my dad and my mother-in-law both lived in the city that my wife and I live in, my mother does not. And the text has just caused me to think more about my mom's welfare and the other family members that are going to be dealing with her. And they're not quite as together as my wife and I are in caregiving. And then also, as I also stated, my wife and I are recent grandparents, and we certainly want our grandson to be cared for well and properly and not abused. So as I said, I will say that this text, this chapter 6, has brought some new good awareness into my life. And I think I failed to mention in the starting of the video, but for Halloween, I've donned my Elmer Fudd costume. I left out the shotgun for obvious reasons. But anyway, I appreciate your time, Professor Olbert, and we'll see how this, see if this video is acceptable. I think, nevertheless, it's an awesome tool. This is the first time I've ever used it, and I thank you for being a audience to this.